This is going to be such a fascinating story that I'm going to tell you. We all know Moses as the strong leader, the one who, brought the Israelites out, fought against, not exactly fought, but stood strong against the Pharaoh and the Egyptians and brought the Israelites out of slavery and to the promised land, almost to the promised land. But there's a story we don't know. What happened right at the beginning? And we go all the way back to Exodus, to the time when Moses went on to Mount Sinai and he stepped on to the mountain and there was a burning bush and Lord appeared to him. So Lord is telling him, Moses, my people are suffering in Egypt. I need to send someone. I have chosen you to go and bring them out and give them freedom. There are 5 questions that Moses asks God. We might have read it, but never ever looked at it. And I want you to look at it with me. So this is Exodus chapter 3 and chapter 4. Do read it. I'm going to read it very, very concisely. So now go, I'm sending you to Pharaoh to bring my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt. But Moses said to God, who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt? And God said, I will be with you. And he goes on to explain how he will help him to give him strength to do that. While he's doing that, Moses comes up with a second question. Moses said to God, suppose I go to the Israelites and say to them, the God of your fathers has sent me to you, and they ask me, what is his name? Then what shall I tell them? God said to Moses, I am who I am. And then he goes on to explain a lot more about it. While all this is happening, Moses comes up with a third question. Moses answered, what if they don't believe me or listen to me and say, the Lord did not appear to you? Then the Lord said to him, what's in your hand? And then he goes on to show, the miracle of the staff turning into snake and the snake turning back to staff. Even after this, Moses has the fourth question. Moses said to Lord, pardon your servant, Lord, I have never been eloquent, neither in the past nor since you have spoken to your servant. I am slow of speech and tongue. The Lord said to him, who gave human beings their mouths? It was amazing because Moses used to stammer and stutter. So he was not very confident speaking in public or even to anybody. So Lord says, it is I who gave you the mouth, so why do you worry? And he gives him a little bit more confidence in the next few lines. And when that is over, Moses comes up with the final question, the fifth one. But Moses said, pardon your servant, Lord, please send someone else. Then the Lord's anger burned against Moses and he said, what about your brother Aaron the Levite? My dear friends, this is the Moses we didn't know of. We know of the Moses, the big leader who appeared along with Elijah to Jesus at the Transfiguration. We know Moses as the great leader. But right at the beginning, he was someone who was low on confidence. He did not know what to do. He said, do not bring me in public. I cannot talk. Full of doubts. Doesn't he remind us of ourselves? Each one of us, if ever given an opportunity to do Lord's work, we will find our own excuse. Not today, Lord. I'm not sure I can do it. I don't have the capability. Like Moses, I can't speak. I don't have the capability. I don't have the wealth. I don't have the health. I don't have this. I don't have that. The number of excuses we can find is more than what Moses found. Moses found 5. Simon never could have become Peter until Jesus met him and took him along. Saul could never become Paul till Jesus could transform through him. What will it take for us to be transformed to do God's work? every verse that we talk about understanding the Lord's path and doing His work. What is the excuse which is stopping us? What are the 5 questions we keep asking each other, ourselves? Nobody would have remembered Simon if he hadn't followed Jesus. He would have been a fisherman and died, in a very ordinary way. But as soon as he started working with Jesus, following Him, and the Holy Spirit guided him, he became a transformed man. Look at Moses. He was doubting himself. He could not speak properly, but God still chose him, like He chooses each one of us. The problem is we don't have time to listen, and we find 10,000 excuses if we ever get that word. So my dear friends, take this opportunity to learn from Moses that it does not require us to find excuses. We have to just allow God to work in us. For us to become a Simon, to become a Peter from a Simon, to become a Paul from a Saul, to become the Moses from the shepherd who was roaming around in Sinai. So my dear friends, reflect on these 2 chapters. Go through it. You will see how doubtful, how weak, how this person was in his own world, till God rocked his world and made him the person we know who he is. So go through it, read it, and meditate on it, and have a blessed week.